All I'm going to do here is I'm going to upload a document. So in this case, it's going to be an invoice. There's also the ability to upload credit notes from your supplier as well as customer purchase orders. So there we go. There isn't a training model set in the background. So all we're going to do is we're going to teach it where to look for that information. So if we come to the training tab, you'll see that this is where we show the system where to look for the data. So invoice number, this we're telling it that's where we need to look. And clearly, I'm sure you have different suppliers that have their information in different places, which is why we need to teach each supplier separately. So we've got an invoice number, we've got the line item code and description. Now, don't worry, you're not going to need to teach every single line. So if you do have invoices where you've got a number of lines, as you'll see in a second, we are literally just teaching it the first line, and then the system can pick up any line following that. So there we go. I'm just going to say, yeah, my second line is exactly the same. And then finally, all we're doing is teaching it where to look for that net value, the VAT, and then finally that total gross. And then all we're doing is creating our training model. So as I said, next time we then get an invoice from Ernie Swinton, it knows specifically where to look for that information. So it's created that training model for us. And you'll see that everything is validated all okay. So it's now sitting in our Ready tab. So what we're now going to do is upload another invoice just to show you how quickly and easily the system has learnt. And it's just simply looking at that training model that we created a moment ago, just to check everything out okay. And it's going to check things like the VAT number, the bank account number, IBAN, email address, website. So it's checking all of that information. We can set up a scoring system in the background to identify exactly how many things we want it to check. As you can see, it's validated fully. So everything is validated okay. It's identified everything. So that's been a huge amount of time saving involved, which means I don't have to be entering and keying all of that in manually. So you saw earlier on that I could process it automatically, but indeed, if I did actually want to make any changes to that, whether that was splitting the nominal account or indeed whether that's perhaps adding a project if we are using projects, you'll see we are going straight into a standard Sage screen. And so as I mentioned, if we do want to change the nominal account or split it, we can do, or indeed if we are using Sicon projects, this is where we have that capacity to be able to make changes. Again, we can still add documents in here if we wanted to, and then simply all we're doing is we're saving, and again, that allows us to be able to post it directly into Sage 200. And there we go, we now have, once again, our completed invoice.